Long ago, chaos pierced the cosmos, rending her fabric asunder. Thus, in ruination and blood, was heavy metal born. Now, two travelers seek her uncanny children in Metal Quest.
We should probably introduce ourselves.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Metal Quest Podcast. I'm Daniel, your co-host.
And I'm Jonathan, your other co-host, and welcome to Metal Quest. We're going to listen to some music this time.
Yeah, we finally picked the bands, we ran the ritual, and I think 3 really good bands got turned up.
Yeah, I think, and the coolest thing about what ended up happening was we picked 3 very different bands in terms of genre. So you kind of get a nice sampler of some different types of metal right out of the gate. And that's going to be something really cool for us to go through.
Yeah, I was really pleased with the variety, and it was nice to kind of like go from one to the next. And
yeah, so before we jump into actually reviewing the albums, I figured it'd probably be a good exercise for us to spend a little bit of time actually rating our raters. So, Daniel, I have a little set of questions, a little quiz set up for you.
all right.
And maybe we'll just go through that.
Okay.
So some of these are just like either or questions.
All right. Yeah, start
let me
easy.
get my notes here.
This is high pressure.
Yeah. You're in the hot seat, and we're gonna get to the bottom of what you like, what you think is cool. So later on, when you say an album's cool, I could be like, but you also said you liked that one movie, so
I'm a science experiment.
that's right. So the first question I have, it's kind of a broad one in terms of motifs. But the question is, what do you like more? Sword and sorcery, or lasers and spaceships?
Whew, that's a tough one.
If you had to pick one.
I have to pick one.
If you had to pick one, you're going to burn all the books. Burn all the books from the other side.
You're killing me right now, dude. That's hard, man, because I got a real soft spot for Conan the Barbarian. I've listened to a lot of like Robert E. Howard short stories of that guy, and it's really good. And and then you got like Lord of the Rings. I would clump into that. It's fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Silmarillion, and but then, gosh, knights, wizards. Oh my gosh! And then you're hitting me with the sci-fi, because it's also like I'm a huge fan, which is really topical right now. Dune. Fantastic series, which just blows me away. I love aliens, God, 2001 Space Odyssey, dude. Star Wars. Come on, dude. Okay, you know what, dude?
I figured I'd come out with a hard one right out of the gate.
That's really hard.
Just a freaking
I
stunner,
love both
dude.
of those genres. I'm going to say, screw it. I'll just say, you know what? I'm going to say sword and sorcery, because you know what, dude? Just like Star Wars is basically just sword and sorcery with space on it.
All right. I'm down. Okay, this one I didn't actually have written down as a screening question, but Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, yeah. Man, I have seen all of TNG. That's about it, man. Okay, it's OG Star Wars. There's always a caveat.
Okay, yeah.
OG Star Wars, definitely. But if I had to take the entire Star Wars, I would take, I guess, I'd rather... Jeez, Star Trek... Yeah, I'm not a big Star Trek fan. It's more Star Wars.
Alright, okay.
You know, Star Wars is so formative me growing up. I probably watched Return of the Jedi. I rented that like every Friday night for like 3 months.
Yeah, I've kind of told you some of my thoughts about Star Wars. Maybe we'll get into those at some point.
What are your thoughts on Star Wars?
Well, dude, I told you the other day about how I just want to...
Oh, yeah.
Like, the thing that would redeem it for me would be a freaking just brutal rated R revenge story of like one of the Mos Eisley bikers or something in that universe.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
Or some kind of like asteroid miner or some welder on the Death Star. He's got like some kind of, drinking problem. And his hands are always shaking and he just can't, just some kind of cerebral tale like in the universe that isn't about these just space wizard people. I'd like something little more low fantasy. Maybe they'll make it one day.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're coming out with a new Star Wars movie every week, so basically it's got to happen sometime.
Yeah, it's like on one side of the spectrum you got like you got the Jar Jar Binks. We got to bring that guy up. And then on the far other side, I want that. I want the thing that's going to balance it out. Ultimately, if I can't pronounce his name, but it's like Nicholas Winding Refn.
Oh,
if
damn.
If he did a Star Wars film, that would be the film I want to see. I want to see like Drive or Valhalla Rising, but Star Wars.
Yeah, that would be incredible because he does all the neon lights, even
dude,
my god, his colors.
Yeah,
but no, he did Too Old to Die Young. That's what I was thinking.
Is that like a really new one?
Yeah, it's like 2020 maybe. It's on Amazon. It's a series he did on Amazon Prime, like 10 episodes or something. And he directed and wrote every single one. It's killer.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that, so I'm like living under a rock. Okay.
It is not for the faint of heart, and I don't recommend it to any grandmas or, people who would be easily offended.
Well, yeah, that kind of goes for about most of his material. Okay, so we got through Star Wars, and... Okay, next question. Conan the Barbarian or Alien?
You talking the movies?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I kind of... Conan the Barbarian. Definitely Conan the Barbarian, dude.
Sweet. All right. See, I'm trying to tease this out. I'm trying to tease out what you're all about.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Alien's freaking great.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
for sure.
Arnold, dude, looking buff as hell.
Yeah.
Dude, Thulsa
the riddle of steel, and then he is looking for the snakes by flexing.
They're facing each other.
Yeah, they're facing each other.
Well, and the tree of woe. Oh. There's this band, I think that's Crom. Yeah, dude, there's a power violence band called Crom who makes like some pretty funny Conan jokes. But dude, like Conan the Barbarian is like one of the most black metal movies ever, dude. There's like no talking, and like there's even a line in the movie whenever Conan is like, the priest comes in and says, "What are you doing here?" And Conan says,
Enough talk!
And he throws his sword and it kills the priest.
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
so good.
Hey, hold up. I'm going to pull up that one clip where, yeah, here it is.
At your wrist, the wind in your hair. Wrong! Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women. That is good.
I love that. I love that part of the movie.
It's so good.
Okay, so all right, so you pick Conan the Barbarian. All right, so the next Conan the Barbarian or Conan O'Brien.
It's Conan again. It's the triple Conan tonight, dude. I don't really know Conan O'Brien too well.
Okay, so we're going to jump over to this one's more of a bracket competition. So each one that passes is going to move on to the next bracket.
The layers just keep on.
I know, dude. I'm augering in here. I thought I'm gonna tease this out. Okay. All right. So our first one is gonna be Predator or Conan the Barbarian. Oh, sorry. The question is Arnold Schwarzenegger in, okay, and then Predator or Conan the Barbarian.
Damn. Well, I'm going to go with Predator. All right. Because he'd been acting for a couple of years there. I think he's really starting to hit his stride.
Yeah, that's true. Some of the original, like, Conan has some parts where he's like, like doing that kind of thing. Like doing the, yeah. I
think, and it's probably like he like overdubbed it and stuff. And I think in Arnold, in Predator, it's like Arnold, the Star is Born, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Before that, it was just like, you know, the big mass of, you know, the big nebula, right?
Hercules in New York or something. Yeah. He was just a big mass of muscles. I mean, that's why he got the role. Predator, it was the golden age.
Okay. Next one. We got Total Recall or Terminator 2.
Total Recall. Hands down.
What are your 3 favorite things about Total Recall?
You think this is the real Quaid? It is. I like that. I like the triple nipples.
Hey, whoa, this is triple threat, man. I thought that was going to be your only 3 favorite things.
And then, man, I like the trippy, dude. It's basically like Inception before Inception, bro. Christopher Nolan, get out of here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
See you at the party, Richter.
Philip K. Dick, right?
I don't know.
Based on it? I think it was.
Okay, our next bracket. So you picked, Total Recall. All right.
I guess I'm really a sci-fi guy, huh?
Well, we'll find out. I mean, Predator's
I figured out what's going on now.
Predator's a little bit of sword and sorcery. He's got a spear and some like hand blades and stuff. Okay, sorcery. You know, like the cloaking device and heat vision, all that. Okay. Next 2, Kindergarten Cop or Jingle All the Way.
Oh, dude, I seen Jingle All the Way once when I was like pretty young. So and I remember thinking it sucked, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. I liked Kindergarten Cop. It's got the memorable lines, you know. It's not a tumor.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
Classic. And the freaking I'm going Kindergarten Cop. But you know what, dude? You ever see Kindergarten Cop 2?
What? No, I haven't.
He's an undercover agent looking for stolen data, but all his training never prepared him for this.
It's got Dolph Lundgren.
Okay, I'm gonna need.
It's pretty bad. It sucks.
It doesn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? They're just like, oh, we're just gonna do the same.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, they're like, whatever. People go see it. They'll go pay for this.
It was terrible.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, our last in the bracket in the octagon. One movie starred in each corner. Junior or Pumping Iron?
Pumping Iron.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
See, there was a gimme in there. All right.
So can you believe how much I am in heaven? I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming.
It's like I'm coming.
Okay, our next in the bracket is Predator or Total Recall.
Predator.
Okay, Predator. All right, Predator. Pulls
Absolutely. Predator has so many buff dudes. It's got what's his
Jesse
name?
Ventura.
Jesse Ventura. It's got. Is it Apollo? Wait, no.
What does he say in that, dude?
What's that guy's name? Carl Weathers. That's who I'm talking about.
Oh, whenever they handshake at first.
Yes, they got the handshake.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
I think last time I met you, we did that very handshake.
Dylan.
Not as buff, but the spirit was there. The spirit was buff.
The spirit was buff as hell. Hell yeah, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Dude, it came out in 1987.
All right. Kindergarten Cop or Pumping Iron?
Pumping Iron.
Pumping Iron. Okay. Last in the bracket. Here we go. We're going to pick the winner of Schwarzenegger movies, at least that entered in this. There's a lot more, but Predator or Pumping Iron?
Predator.
All right.
That's way more entertaining.
All right. Well, we picked out Predator, man. Sweet. Well, I guess you're in.
Predator is my ultimate Arnold movie. Interesting.
All right. What about what if we had Predator 2 in there?
Still Predator 1, but Predator 2, don't get me wrong, is pretty damn good.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen Predator 2. It's cool.
Danny Glover?
Yeah.
He frickin' hates birds?
Yeah.
Birds. Damn birds.
Is that the movie where he's like, I'm getting too old for this shit? Or is I just thinking of like...
Yeah, I think so, yeah. He definitely says that. Dude, yeah. Gary Busey's in it?
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good, man. I don't think it gets the respect it deserves.
I got one more question. Welcome to Metal Quest, but this one's a metal-related question. All right. What setting do you like for your music? A crypt or a swamp?
A crypt. There's too many bugs in the swamp.
All right. Sick. Well, yeah, we're going to be in like, with our first album that we're going to be hitting up, we're going to be pretty deep into a swamp. Okay, so before we jump over that, what I wanted to do, and this is kind of something that we're going to be doing for our listeners and each other, is we are going to swap some albums.
Oh.
Rather than just picking them randomly like we're doing for the ones we're reviewing, this is just maybe some of your deep cuts that I haven't heard, and I'm going to send you some of my deep cuts that you haven't heard. So
yeah, that's great.
I can go ahead and start, and you can follow along. Let's see here. So this band is called Pure Wrath. And by band, I think it's just one guy in Indonesia.
Okay.
And the album I want you to listen to is Ascetic Eventide. And dude, I just love this album. So I'm going to play the first 20 seconds of it. Here we go.
That's badass. Yeah. Wow. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. Cool. Well, I just thought of this one whenever you, I was originally going to send you a Kanye West album, but I decided we should keep it metal. And, I've actually been really I did not get into this until about this year. I've listened to this one a bunch. One track in particular, but I'm gonna send you to Insephirum, and the album is called From Afar. And dude, let's just listen to a little bit of it here.
Yllä harmaan korven korpit laulaa, hurmet tämän kansan roudan suulattaa. Katso kuinka hohkaa kansi taivaan, kutsuu se meitä tumman virran taa. Heikot vaipuu kuohuun syysi mustaan, sankari.
All right, I had to stop it because I got to save the big drop for you when you hear it for the first time. But, dude, it kicks in. Let me just tell you, it kicks in, and it's sick.
Okay, cool. Well, no, it's going to build it up. Awesome. I'm excited. Yeah, so listeners, you should give those a spin and let us know what you think about those. Those are the Jonathan and Daniel choices. So let us know what you think about those. Yeah. Oh, and we didn't even talk about the album covers on those.
Oh.
But maybe we talk about them a little bit next time.
Okay, yeah.
And now I think we should head on to some albums that the Ritual has picked for us.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll jump into our first album here. Well, maybe we introduce the 3 albums and then go through them one by one.
Okay, yeah.
Do that.
The first album we got back from the computer was Sagrado. Band was Sagrado, and their album was called Abysmal Slaughter of the Dead. It was released October 20th, 2021. It's in the genre of brutal death metal, and they put an emphasis on the brutal. Its label is Pathologically Explicit Recordings, and it is one monster of an album. It's got 10 tracks.
Yeah.
And it has a runtime. Where's the runtime at?
45 minutes.
And a runtime of 44 to 45 minutes.
Yeah. 44 minutes, 44 seconds. That's what I have on. That's what I see on YouTube right now. Yeah, and we'll put in the show notes one of the main places you can find them, but they're off Pathologically Explicit records, but they are on Bandcamp as Sagrado PH, and I believe that PH is for Philippines. They're out of the Philippines.
Yeah. Did you look up what Sagrado means in English?
I tried, but I didn't really come up with anything. So I pretty much have absolutely no lyrical or written content by this band because the lyrics haven't been released, and I would be amazed if anybody guessed one word off of this entire album.
Did you see the lyric video on YouTube?
I didn't.
They have one lyric video, which is we'll do that. Well, I'll do that. We'll play that in a little bit.
Okay, cool. All right, so the first thing to say about this album is like you put it in or you load it up or whatever, put it in like you're putting in a tape.
You click on it.
You drop the needle. Yeah, you click on it and dude, it just like blows your ears out immediately. I'll play the first like 15 seconds, maybe more. We'll play the first little bit of it.
All right, track 1.
Here it comes. Yeah.
It comes in
right out of the gate.
Hard and fast and heavy. And the thing that you'll quickly soon discover about Sagrado is they have, I don't know how many band members they have in the band, but It seems like they have one band member who likes to just drop the bass. That's all he does. And it has like this.
Oh yeah.
For me, it was like the first thing. Like, okay, you know, I listened to it and I was like, dude, the bass drops are just hitting. Like, okay, maybe you do this like once or twice an album, maybe twice an album. They're doing it eight times a song, 6 times a song.
Wait, so how is that done? Is he actually dropping it?
No, you know what? I went and took notes on this because it like stood out so much. They did it 8 times the first song.
Oh wow! So I have a timestamp on one here. I'll go ahead and play it. Yeah. So my notes say huge bass hits, distorting everything, and then I say the mix is clipping. EQ that sucker. But then later on, I was like, well, maybe that's the point. So here, I'll go ahead and play one of those clips for you. Yeah, you hear that just big, like thunderous, like like low frequency thing. Yeah, those happen a lot in this album.
I'm not saying, you know, the first time it was distracting. And it almost and I don't want to like come out. Maybe we shouldn't come out the gate being hard on these guys, because don't get me wrong, frickin' Sagrado, I really enjoyed this album.
Yeah,
what is your general impressions?
Oh, I liked it a lot. I thought, it was just brimming with energy, and just all the tracks were just so heavy and brutal, right? It's brutal death metal.
I guess we're on the same page there.
Yeah. No, like it just kind of like threw me off balance. I was like, whoa, what was that? And then later on I realized like, oh, okay, this is actually like a pretty cool effect to add in, like just some more, because it's kind of dissonant when it happens. And
well, yeah, I mean, for me, like, I'm not a huge brutal death listener, but this, you know, it really had it reminded me of like whenever I was first wanting to like play guitar, you know. This is like the energetic riffs that these guys are writing. That's like the energy, the breakdowns on breakdowns. They never stopped. They never like they even like in their like slow songs, the drums are just continuing to like throw out these blasts while the guitars are just like chun, 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 and the like 220 beat per minute like gravity blast is just flying, you know. I thought that the drums were incredible, and also the drum tone, it didn't really sound like a triggered like drum kit. It didn't sound too electronic. I don't know if that's even humanly possible to drum like that. Like, it was amazing.
This is the drums at 250. Listen to these guys. Anyways, I just that kind of took.
That's got to be electric.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's kind of throwing me off a little bit.
He could be actually physically playing it, but it's on like an electric kit or like the triggers or something. But it's freaking. It sounds great. It doesn't sound too triggered to me.
Yeah, and the there's some like riffs later where the guitars and the drums are like really tight with each other. I don't know if I have those, but hey, when you listen to the album, you'll pick up on those, and they're pretty awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of off the first one, and the vocals are they're all over they're cool. They're like just guttural and like noises you got to make with your belly.
Dude, their vocals are sick. It's kind of jarring if you're not, you know, used to this type of music.
Yeah,
and it's more it kind of plays out more of like a drone percussion instrument almost like.
something like that.
And then he's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. I was like, yeah, the album art. This is the monster on the cover of the album art.
Yeah, the whole. Yeah, actually, I got a funny clip later about that.
Do you know? I looked up what Sagrado meant, and it's actually, well, it's a town in the Philippines. So I don't know if these dudes are actually from the town Sagrado. Maybe that's where they got their name. But it's Spanish for like sacred or like holy.
Oh.
And I thought that was kind of interesting because they're like brutal death, you know, and it's like holy. I don't know. It's a cool juxtaposition.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'd mentioned the bug on the cover, and I was the first track that made me really think about that thing was the beginning of track 2. It kind of starts out this low pass, like filter. And I'm just like, is this what it sounds like inside the bug? Like you see all of its organs and stuff. And then it's like maybe like it opened an orifice all of a sudden.
Is that what it sounds like to be inside of it while it's inside of its tummy while it's walking around devouring
Probably.
worlds?
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know if this thing's like really, the thing on the cover, I don't know if it's really walking around. It looks like it's kind of, metastasized to the to the rest of the complex that it's in.
It's
So
creepy. And their song titles are kind of, I think they're kind of like this band, they're kind of leaning towards like a sci-fi bent with this album, with like cryptic desolation, no hope for humanity,
yeah, right?
Omnic crisis, dawn of drones, fall of drones.
Yeah, I know that Nunnaki's curse, that's like a Babylonian kind of god thing.
Well, the Anunnaki's like the aliens that came down to like Earth or something, and like
okay.
aren't the Anunnaki? They're like the ones who mingled with the humans and like created the giants and all this weird stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the Nephilim and all that.
Made the Nephilim.
Yeah,
Sick. I wish we had some of these lyrics.
that's badass. Great song names. Great album art. Yeah.
Yep. Probably one of my, I had a few other markers that were pretty cool. Let's see, this one I wrote down, they're doing a little bit of arranging. I thought that was kind of neat because there's like, well, I don't know, let's play it. Anyways, I thought that was cool. They had some chords there.
Yeah, I thought, I wrote down, it's like it sounds like, yeah, because they have those keyboards. They do that like twice on the album, or the synths, and it's like, man, I would like to see a little bit more of that incorporated into their repertoire. There was, okay, so on song 1, I believe, and song 10, the final, the opener and the closer, they have these sick guitar solos. And this guy is like shredded. This guy comes in shredding hot. And I really like that. And I was kind of disappointed when it didn't come through the rest of the album. And yeah, I think, maybe that's not the point of their music. It's to be brutal and heavy and deadly. And they definitely hit all those nails on the head.
They did have, I guess these are the last two things I'll play. There's something with some cool guitar tapping here, kind of a guitar tapping riff. And then they kind of had this like jazzy kind of guitar thing. It has like a chorus effect on it. So I'll play that. Yes, I thought that was cool. And then a little bit later, they have...
That's like a classic death metal, like riff. The... Love it.
And then this was kind of, just like a jazzy kind of guitar sound. But yeah, like you're saying, Daniel, the drummer he's just still hammering, man. Even though that section should be like hitting the ride cymbal, like, and doing the like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote that part down. Yeah, it's like the acoustic section, like for 30 seconds.
Sagrado Unplugged.
Yeah, dude, and this is a brutal death album. It's not like an easy listen, but it's 40 minutes and 44 seconds, and I thought that was a perfect amount of time for this album. Like, my favorite song was the last song, and I'm not saying that because the album was over. I'm saying it because it had this like really nice like 6 slow jam that like built up, and it was like, I don't know, I really like the guitar work on that.
Yeah, that one actually ended up being my favorite too.
Oh, really? Whoa.
There's a live video of them playing it. That we could throw that in the show notes.
Oh, sick!
As well.
Yeah, definitely. I like that one. The Fujiwara effect, which is like 2 cyclones when they come together, and they form as one.
I also. Well, they come together and they kind of spin around a common point, like feeding off of each other's energy.
To make a mega cyclone?
Yeah, I like that because it was very relevant to someone that lives in the Philippines. So we're kind of getting a little bit of their local flavor.
Dude, Southeast Asia, I hear, is like they're putting out brutal metal. It's popping off down there.
Well, yeah. That band I just sent you, they're from Indonesia.
Dude.
So.
And Sagrado is killing it, dude.
You can see that effect if you like, I don't know, if you're the kind of monster that puts cream in your coffee, and when you go to stir it, like you get those little eddies that come up, and sometimes you see them like spin around each other.
Uh-huh.
That's what the Fujiwara is.
Okay, so this I don't think is off the album. This is from a different one, but this is a music video with the lyrics.
Okay. So am I supposed to guess a couple?
Let me see. Yeah.
Here, I'll try to jot them. I'll try to jot them down as you play.
Okay, let's just do the first opening line of the song, John. Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna play that again. I'm gonna play it again, and you can listen to it. We'll play it one more time after that.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'd like you to take some time to think about that. I'm gonna play it one more time for you. Okay, so now take that piece of paper in front of you and that pencil and write down your answer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm writing down here, just doing some linguistic analysis.
I can play it again for you if you like.
Okay, yeah, just play the middle part again for me.
Oh, okay. Let me get that middle part.
Okay, I wrote down, I'm hungry. I'm going to go smoke a ham.
No, you didn't get a single. You didn't get a single word right. Clearly,
Oh man, I felt like I had one of them.
clearly, John, if you would have paid attention, it was mitochondrial matrix altering the balance of human life.
Oh man, I feel like it's pretty close. I mean,
That's pretty
hams
good.
probably have mitochondrial matrix in them.
I'm gonna send that to the
All right,
Discord.
well,
Oh my
one
God.
day I'm gonna get one of these guys' lyrics. I'm gonna figure it out. Do you want to go and jump into Burning Point?
Yeah, Burning Point, Arsonist of the Soul. That was our second album. And these guys are from Finland. They formed in 1999. So they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, and it says they're melodic power metal.
Melodic power metal. They're on AFM Records. And they just came out with this new album October 22nd, 2021. All right. So the first thing, we're looking at this Burning Point dudes, their album art. It's the first thing that greets you whenever you get a new album. It's red and black.
Yeah, it's like a skull and a heart.
In a heart
that's
shape.
on fire.
Yeah, it's fire all around. You're around a ring of fire. And did you kind of catch? I think because I watched the music video of the title track, "Arsonist of the Soul."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I think it's about a breakup.
Oh, okay.
And I think this heart is, there's a lot of pain on this album. Now, this album is 12 tracks. It's 49 minutes and 9 seconds long, running time. And, yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I just listened to what the hell did I just listen to? Dragon Force Valley of the Damned like 2 days ago.
Yes.
And I was just getting some serious, just because all the guitar harmonies. I was like, I'm getting some Dragon Force vibes, but it's probably the other way around, right?
It opens with a banger. Blast from the past, man. Boom. Blasting out the gates.
Yeah.
They're shredders. The dudes are shredding. I like the singer's vocals. I like how he sounds. It's well instrumentation. The keyboardist killing it with some keys. Yeah, just like a solid power metal like band. They're doing like 3-minute songs, nothing too crazy.
Yep.
Blast from the Past is a ripper. It opens up. I love that song.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk about on this album is, whenever I first play, it's like, hey, awesome, there's guitar harmonies. I love stuff with guitar harmonies. And then near the end, I was like, please stop with the guitar harmonies. It was just like the whole thing. And like every song sounded like the next, like they all blend into each other. And there's nothing I really like was like, oh yeah, that one. So
The thing is with this kind of stuff is you're doing power metal, right? And I like the ripping power metal stuff. This album is 12 tracks long. And there's like 4 really slow songs. Like power ballads kind of songs. And even Arsonist of the Soul is like mostly a power ballad. It's like 4 really slow songs. I don't know. It just, the momentum for me, like it was going and I was really digging it. By the time we got to like the title track, Arsonist of the Soul, you've already had, this is the second slow song, and then the album just never regains its speed. then it hits with like 2 more slow songs, and then they end with Eternal Life, which was like a ripper, and it was fast. But the whole thing is your power metal, right? And this album, it seems to be doubting itself. It had like the lyrics, they felt like, Arsonist of Soul seems to be about a breakup, out of control, savage animals. They're like worried about the environment and like little animals dying. And it's like, dude, like your power metal, you're supposed to be confident, in control, like strong, strength, eternal life. He's asking like, do you know the spell that will grant eternal life? And it's like sick melody, but it's like, no, dude, it's I know the frickin' spell that grants eternal life. Get behind me, Like, I'm gonna crush you. Crush your enemies. See them driven before you. I'm just saying, this album, it was kind of a letdown. This was the one I was most excited for. I'm a power metal guy. AFM Records, they do great bands. I looked at their record list of bands. It was like Rhapsody of Fire, Magic Kingdom, Tankard, like all these bands that I'm like, yeah, all these bands rip because they're power metal. So actually, I really want to go back and listen to more Burning Point, see what their like earlier stuff is like. Maybe the fire is burning out for Burning Point. It would have been a great album if they would have cut like 4 of the songs and not been such
get him. If there was some variety in there, like if they're gonna do a ballad, like have like some clean, like jangly guitars, and then freaking just rip my face off with like a huge, like heavy hitting riff, and like really like lean into the guitar harmony. A lot of the times the guitar harmonies are like, we'll do them like here sometimes, but the first few that you encounter, here, I'll play the first one I encountered, and it's like just having fun with that one. Here, Blast in the Past at that would be an ad for Musician the app. Okay, now we're gonna get the real one. It's definitely not them. Okay, this is Burning Point, Blast in the Past. Anyways, I dug that little riff there.
Yeah. That'd be so sick to be on stage with your buddy.
It's way good. I was like, man, I would love to just be playing that.
Yeah. I think if they were to cut probably 4 of the songs off of this album, it would have been a banger and it would have like ripped, but the slow parts really drag on this whenever they're going slow.
Yeah. Dude, I wonder if one of these guys is going through a divorce because or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I thought that too.
But there's lyrics that are like, this one's like, she rules the universe and no one can challenge her. With a little wave of hand, she'll make you disappear. Yeah, and I was like, what?
It's something with a breakup, like, I don't know.
She rules the universe, and no one can challenge her. With a little wave of hand, she'll make you disappear.
Oh, she casted a spell. He carried on undead. She rules the universe, and no one can challenge her. With a little wave of hand, she'll make you disappear. She rules the universe. There's no limit to her force. Mortal men will fear. Future becomes unclear. Which is just like, what did she do to this guy? What'd she do to him?
It just, I don't know. Some of the lyrics, I know they're from Finland. They speak Finnish. But like usually those lyrics are endearing. Yeah. In this, they were kind of.
That's about as much as I got. Okay, so I did have one set of lyrics I kind of liked. Just since we're on the lyrics kick, Calling. There's a song called Calling. All right, here's kind of the lyrics that I liked from the song called Calling.
Sword and shield in my hands, fighting through. Souls of fire, bleeding eyes in the rain, calling you.
Yeah, so I like that. Yeah, but it was like calling you, sword and shield in my hands, fighting through. Souls on fire, bleeding eyes in the rain,
Another
calling you.
breakup thing. Calling you.
Actually, yeah, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
they should be calling on him. It's the hero. This is your power ballad.
It's like snakes and monsters in my path. I'm scared. Will the monster get me? I'm not gonna make it. Will I be strong enough? I thought, dude, change it around. Say, dude, there's monsters in my path. I am the strongest, and they will know my name and fear me, because I am the master of my domain.
Yeah. So I was taking notes. I was going kind of track by track. I kind of didn't really take any on 9 or 10 or 11.
Yeah. It slows down.
And maybe that's what you're talking about, where the album just like, you're like, okay. I'm going to give you enough room here. Okay, so at 44 seconds, I think there's just like a cool scream or something. I don't know.
Sick, dude. Yeah, it ends on a ripper. I'm saying,
That's the last one, Eternal Life. Yeah.
yeah, that is sick.
Oh, I can never get enough of that.
Burning Point, my verdict, it's an okay album, because I felt that I thought there was a really good album in there. They just needed to cut some of these songs.
Yeah.
That's my impression.
Yeah.
Of the overall.
You won't listen to it, and you just won't be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go back to that one track. Like, they all kind of blended together for me.
Enough said. Try again next year, Burning Point. I know you got it in you. For that 10th album.
Yeah, and if you are if you're a sucker for guitar harmonies and you just love that, I am a little bit of. I mean, it's worth a listen. So, all right, so I guess we're gonna move on to our last album here.
Our last album of the night.
Last album of this podcast, and
Episode 1. Thanks for being here, John. Thank you for going on this journey with me.
yeah, this has been a pretty exciting journey, especially this one. I have so many notes on this next album that we're not going to be able to touch on all of it, but it's just blowing my mind.
All right, yeah. This next album, do you want to introduce it?
Sure. Yeah, so the band is 1914. The album name is Where Fear and Weapons Meet. And the genre is black metal, and they are out of the Ukraine. I did not catch... Oh, are they on Nuclear Blast?
Napalm Records.
Napalm, that's, a war thing.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's like their perfect record label for these guys.
Yeah. So, actually, yeah, if there was like Mustard Gas Records, that would have been more for them. So this album, I'm just going to start by saying, like, if you're a World War I history buff and you like black metal, like, turn off this podcast right now and go listen to this, because this is like this is your dream. It's combining those things. Yeah, we can just start talking about it.
They're from the Ukraine, released October 22nd, 2021. There's 11 tracks on this behemoth of an album. This is the longest album of the three. I'm kind of obsessed with album times, because I think a good album time is really important. You don't want to go too long. You don't want to go too short. And this album, actually, there's a point on where maybe like track 9 or so, it feels like the album's going to end. And I was actually kind of sad. And I listened to this album 2 times when this moment happened, and I was like, oh wait, it's coming back, dude. And the album doesn't end there. It keeps on going past the hour mark, and I this was my favorite album of the week.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. So not only is the playing and the actual music, pretty well done, but it's just like the pacing of the album. It doesn't wear you out with just the same thing over and over again. There's little like interludes, and they kind of made it theatrical. So just the big synopsis of the album, I'll probably screw all this up, but hey, it's about World War I started with an assassination, and we're gonna go and visit some different battles, and even some stuff that happens at the end of the war and near the end of the war.
Yeah, and that's how the album starts, progresses, and ends. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there's so many just like cool little stories like woven into it. Like it starts out with this folk song called Tamo Daleko. And it sounds, just kind of old timey at first. So yeah, that was a folk song, composed in 1916 to commemorate the Serbians' army retreat through Albania. And then we pretty much just go ahead and jump on. Well, let's start this thing off with an assassination, and you kind of hear this in the very beginning of the next track. You hear these cool like brassy hits. I thought those were so cool. And
the horn section? Yeah.
There's one with like yeah, so here's the horns with like a blast beat. I thought it was
Dude, so sick. I was thinking about it, like listening to the instrumentations with the old folk sort of in recordings kind of sprinkled in throughout the track. It really, like, this whole album is just one solid concept, which I like, and they lean into it perfectly. But like with those old folk songs and stuff, it's like that was the music of the time, and that were the people, writing the music about the war then. This band formed in 2014, 100 years after, the war. And it's just interesting because now it's like them living in the Ukraine, writing like their metal, their music now about the war. Now, like that it's evolved like 100 years, and it's like a different style, but they're still capturing like the sadness on all levels. I was just like blown away.
Yeah, my favorite track I think that I wrote down was Pillars of Fire, which was the Battle of Messines. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That's track 4, and it just that was about how the British got a victory against the Germans at in that village of Messines after a week of fighting by digging tunnels and burying mines under them, and then they detonate all the mines at once and just blew all the Germans sky high. And if you read about that, like, I guess that explosion could be heard 130 miles away in London.
Holy crap, dude. That's freaking crazy.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
World War One is like the scariest of the world wars. You know, they're all scary, but freaking in those trenches and like, yeah, this album captures just like the wetness and being down in these cold and wet. And there's like some of the lyrics, I can't remember exactly what they are. This is just off the top of my head, but it's like he's singing and he's saying something like all sounds stopped and it was the first time it was quiet for like weeks, from the shelling. Like we finally heard the silence of it, and then like it rings in your ears, like the tone, and you're like, you're going deaf. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a work of art.
You're gonna have shell shock after listening to this thing. But yeah, so it's kind of in the track that I really like, where it even has a little bit of sound art going down, where it's kind of like here, I'm pulling this up. Right, you kind of get that like high pitch ringing in your ears kind of thing, and it's kind of spooky. And then
it's sick, dude. On one of them, like later in the album,
yeah,
he has this like line where it's like later. I wrote it down. Later in the night, he's like later in the night, and then he gets this like wild breath where he's like. And he's like, the enemy shield our lights. It's so good how he breathes. It's just like he has to like catch his breath because it's just like, I don't know. It's so good how they left that in. I love that.
Dude, and he's doing that with that microphone that's on the end of the M1,
it's
right?
Great. Did you see their Bandcamp? It's X1914X.bandcamp, and it looks like little, except when the X makes it look like little barbed wire, like tank barriers or something, troop barriers. I love it. It's a great. This band, they're going for it.
Yeah, they're like, look, we're doing World War One. And that's what we're gonna do.
It's their third album about World War One. I'm excited to check out their other stuff.
Yeah, and they released some pretty cool. I saw some different box sets you can get that have like olive drab pressing, vinyl pressings, and some pretty cool like shirts and pretty cool merch associated with the work.
When I first listened to it, I was thinking this was going to be a black metal band. And I was listening to it and I was like, this is not black metal. I do not like this. This is not what I think black metal is. But it's because it's not a black metal band. It's like black and death. And once those gears switched in my mind, I was like, oh, this rules. This is like the best. It almost has like some sort of like a monomarch Viking metal kind of parts going on in it. I don't think you can just say it's black metal.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Like fans of black metal who are like, we love just black metal. I'm not saying that this is a black metal album.
That's right. Yeah. And then you get these nice kind of like interludes, like you have track. Well, here I'll play a little clip from this one because this is a pretty cool little track, just right in the middle of an album where they've been blowing your face off with all kinds of riffs and heavy riffs and everything, tremolo picking and double bass drumming. You just get something like this.
soul as fast as I can.
Very cool.
Yeah, so you just get a nice little folksy thing with a banjo about. Yeah. So one thing you should definitely do when you listen to this album for the first time, find the lyrics somewhere. I found them on there are a lot of places, but they're definitely on like Genius, Lyric Genius. And as you're listening to the stuff, read through the lyrics. Although the vocalists, the lyrics do come through pretty clear insofar as, you know, this genre of music goes. So you can make a lot of stuff out. There's a lot of German mixed in there from time to time, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely follow along because it's a cool
And if you're
story.
writing your high school history paper about World War I, you don't need to read any of those books. Just put this album on, read the lyrics, and you'll get the cliff notes of World War I.
Yeah, this could be your study guide. So track 8 was very exciting because basically it's about some like armored cars, a Belgian corps of armored cars, and they were on the wrong side like after the Bolshevik revolution happened, and they weren't able to cross over because they were on the east side of this, so they weren't able to cross to Belgium. So they ended up, they were in Kiev. The Bolsheviks banished us and destroyed their cars. And then, so they wouldn't get captured, they chose the highest way back home along the Trans-Siberian Railway to China. And then they took a ship from there to the United States. They went to, it said in San Francisco, they treated us like heroes. And then they went from Sacramento to Salt Lake City, Chicago, Detroit, and New York. Finally, we're returning to France just months before the war has ended. Hello again, our lovely Belgium. So they went all the way around the world because their cars got blown up in Kiev.
And they couldn't go
Which,
back,
you know,
so it was better to go around the world.
Yeah, they traveled, I don't even, like, 20s, 30s of thousands of miles.
That's badass,
to
dude.
get back there, and it took them forever.
I was wondering what that, because they were like, we went for the Trans-Siberian Railroad to China, and then it's like to like Sacramento, and I was like, wait, what? And then
Yeah, you're like, is this an AC/DC tour?
I thought it was like the band being like, we're on tour and we're going around the world, ripping it up in all these different cities, man. And I was like, that doesn't sound like this band, but I guess that's what I thought the first time. But yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
It some of it's, you know what it is about this album? It's a concept album. Ultimately, I love concept albums. I like bands, and they're like taking on this World War I thing, and they're just like running with this like whole concept. I mean, and it's not even like a concept. It's like real history that happened. It's like crazy.
All right, so in this, they're talking about this gun, Big Bertha, shooting 8 shells per hour, 800 kilograms of trinitrotoluene, otherwise known as TNT. So check this out. This is Big Bertha. I thought that was like the coolest section in music ever about a big gun and TNT. I thought I felt like I was standing in the presence of Big Bertha there.
It's awesome.
Let's see here. And then track 10, we got a nice little bagpipe section. It's an epic track. It's like 10, almost 11 minutes long. It's just shy of 11 minutes. The Green Fields of France. And that really long song kind of moves through a bunch of different parts. So the track closes out with an anti-war song from the time, I didn't raise my boy to be a soldier. So yeah, it was that was a way cool album. Definitely my favorite of the week, just because it had so many different parts and it was so well written and put together.
Hell yeah!
Sit along with the lyrics and a history book, and it's more of an experience than something you're just gonna listen to.
Wow. So that brings us to the end of the first 3 albums we ever reviewed on Metal Quest. I'm excited. It's great.
Yeah, we got a good set. Yeah, so
hell yeah. So we need some more albums.
So we want to
fire up the computer.
Are we going to do the Gladitorium? Is it time for the Gladitorium first?
How could I forget my favorite part?
Yeah.
The Gladitorium. 3 bands enter.
So what are the pictures? Can you share your screen? Because I don't have pictures. And a lot of this probably depends on, like, what picture of them are you pulling up?
Best one I can find.
Okay, so we give them the benefit of the doubt and find their best picture. All right, that one's pretty good. I like that. That's the one that's on their
Sagrado, where they're like sitting on a tractor.
Yeah, the one of them like, yeah. Oh, they're on a bulldozer, dude. They have a bulldozer.
They have a freaking bulldozer, man.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
So, do they get to take the bulldozer in the Gladitorium?
Yeah. All right, these guys got guns though. They have at least one. Burning Point just looks like a couple of dudes.
Okay. I mean, they got some guitars. They don't really have any.
They have exposed
weapons.
sleeves. Their arms are laid bare. Not seeing a lot of muscle definition in these arms.
That's right. Not very buff.
Now, and then we're looking at Sagrado, man. They're sitting on a bulldozer. Do they have the keys to it? Nobody's in the driver's seat.
Or, yeah, do they know how to drive it?
They probably do. Okay, well, they have a bulldozer. But how much damage is that going to do to 1914? A squad of infantrymen. I mean, they're going to be out. How fast can a bulldozer go?
I don't know, dude. We read some lyrics about them digging tunnels and planting mines underneath.
Dude.
So I think what's going to happen is they're going to be driving that bulldozer around and they're just going to hit it up with some mines, blow a hydraulic hose off or something. And the bulldozer's, it's down for the
I think the bulldozer might break through the barricade that they've set up, but these guys are just going to snipe them out of the bulldozer. It's not armored or anything.
Yeah, they're probably tacticians too. Like they'll kind of scatter, right? The bulldozer can really only go after like one person at a time.
And Burning Point is just going to be too caught up that they're just going to get caught in the middle of this. Sagrado's going to run them over. The infantrymen are going to snipe them while they're crying, and then Sagrado breaks through their defenses valiantly. Then they have their bayonets. Sagrado meets a brutal death metal end. They're probably down with, some gore. 1914 probably feels a little bad about it, though.
Sagrado's, there'll be some letters and songs written for them.
I think we have our winner.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go with 1914 winning the Gladitorium and the album. Album of the Week award.
They have definitely won this week's Metal Gladitorium.
The buffest, the most organized. They got some actual weapons and tactics.
And head protection.
To pull it off. Now we've picked our Metal Gladitorium, people. Let's pick our...
Okay.
Let's pick next week's albums and see what we're going to be listening to then.
Sounds good. Run the ritual. The ritual! Run it! Run it now! Run an algorithm, a highly sophisticated computer program that scours the archives of the World Wide Web and brings back to us 3 randomly... It goes through like as many metal releases as we can find. And they have to be albums, full lengths, and they have to be released. And right now we're going through October, so we're doing our past months.
All right, so I just ran it, and we just got our album. It is... The band is Order, and the album name is The Gospel.
Order.
So the next album is... Just got our next one. It is Extreme Cold Winter is the band name, and the album name is World Exit. And it is Death Doom. And I will go ahead and post that. I guess I should have sent that over to you first.
Ooh.
I'm going to wait until you actually load it up.
All right, sick. I got it loaded up.
Yeah, man.
Extreme Cold Winter. Badass. I
Yeah.
like the band name.
Yep. I like the album cover, like kind of a tumultuous oil painting of a rocky coastline. I'm a sucker for that.
It's like a Bob Ross. Interesting.
Yeah. That'd be like Bob Ross on a stormy day. Very stormy day.
Death Doom. All right, it's 50 minutes.
Okay, and running the ritual on the last one.
It's a 3-piece.
Okay, I will go ahead and send that over to you. Sorry, I'm just having a private chuckle over here because I haven't sent it to Daniel yet.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and pull up the album cover.
Praise
All right.
God.
So,
I just got the...
okay, first of all, this is like a new thing.
Holy God Throne is the name of the band.
Yeah. So,
All right.
Holy God Throne. There's a lens flare, like beam of light in the middle of the album cover, coming through some clouds. Album name is Power of God. So yeah, Holy God Throne is the band name, and the album is Power of God.
Well, this one might be one I'll be able to talk to my mom about.
Yeah.
Around Thanksgiving, she's gonna love it.
According to... So the music style is unblack. What does that mean? I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, it's like, black metal's like usually anti-Christian themed.
Yeah.
So it's like... So this might be like in the style of black metal, but this is totally praising God music.
Oh, cool. So there'll still be a scratchy vocals and a blast beat. And,
Well, I think so, yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Like, I've heard, like, the term white metal.
Okay.
But it's been a while.
All right. Well, we will find out. So, in the same styling but different lyrical content.
We'll see, maybe.
Maybe they, instead of using a Locrian, they use just a major scale everywhere or something.
And you know what's so funny about it, too? This album cover, the logo is just... And you know how black metal bands like Extreme Cold Winter have logos that are harder to read and they're dripping with spikes and chains and stuff and angles? This is just straight Times New Roman typewriter font.
Yeah, bold. And they definitely want you to know the light is it's getting around the clouds. And
right.
You know what? I bet this album is like if we had the extreme cold winter, and you put it above it, that's what happened if you move the camera up, right?
Yep.
Like you would, like once you can see a hole in the clouds, it's like, oh, okay, there's the sun. So
Wow, what a juxtaposition with order, the gospel, and holy God.
yeah. So we got to find some band pics of these guys.
So, what about the website?
Oh yeah, I guess I should plug all kinds of stuff. We got all kinds of stuff going down. Okay, so you've obviously found the podcast. So in the actual show notes, we have metalquest.com. We have a contact form there. So reach out to us and let us know what you think. And since we told you these albums we're going to be listening to next show, take a listen to them yourself, and we'll include some of your send us your comments,
We'll
send
read
us your
them.
thoughts. We'll read them.
MetalQuestPodcast.com.
MetalQuestPod.com. P-O-D.
Okay.
Yeah, MetalQuestPod.com. Because Daniel didn't want to type
My
cast.
fingers. Dude, I didn't even
One-
want to type Metal Quest.
Dude, once again, you're not that much into sword and sorcery. Most of the sorcery is about casting.
No way, dude. Wizards, you can't trust at all. Conan kills all wizards as fast as he can.
We're on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast. We should be on Overcast, but if there is a podcatcher, well, I don't know
Email
how
us.
you'd be listening to this. I do have an embedded player on our actual website. If you don't use any of those podcatchers, if there is one
Yeah.
you want, send that our way. We have a Facebook group stood up where we're gonna post some episodes
Pictures.
and some of these albums as
Album
we
art.
find album art, pictures of maybe we'll send some pictures of Metal Quest Studios.
I'm streaming on Twitch. Twitch.tv/corpsehammer. You can find me there. If you want to chat with me live, come on in. Tell me I was wrong about this metal album. Tell me why Burning Point is really good. Point.
Yep. Yeah, and on our website we have a contact form that's there. Pretty much you can get a hold of us through the Facebook group, the Face group, which is just Metal Quest Podcast.
Yeah.
On there, or just Metal Quest. I think if you search for either. And
Mad shout out to Umi Taru who did our logo.
yep.
It's looking great.
Yeah, there's some artwork in progress that we're working on, and just trying to get everything tidied up so that we can focus finally on just listening to some new albums and trying to find some gems out there.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for putting all this together, man.
Yeah, thank you too, Daniel.
You're welcome. And thank you, dear listener, for sticking it this far. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Something
All
like
right.
that.